we talk about programming, a lot of people tend to, whether it's the outside world telling them that or just their own mindset, they tend to get into that. And if you have that mindset, then you are separated from life. You know what I mean? So I think that's really important. One, that you already knew that going into it, but also that you were kind of spreading. That was one way that you were spreading, light and love is
at the same time.
Yeah.
So I believe at that time when I was out there like helping people, it kind of sort of encouraged me to push a little harder. You know what I mean? I'd already filed my paperwork and things of that nature, right? So in my mindset, I'm already a business, right? So let me operate it like that.
Yeah.
Right. So what little resources I have is food stamps. You know what I'm saying? I would take that benefit and I would like just not feed myself, but anybody I came across that I knew that wasn't fortunate enough to be able to have a sandwich or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if I was conversating with somebody I knew that was hungry, I would most definitely give them something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always made sure that if I had to split what I had with somebody else, I just wanted to make sure that they have that.
Yeah.
So those opportunities gave me, an opportunity to be able to talk to people and encourage them, give them, hope that, you can make it, especially if you're young, and you experience things at a young age, nobody's really in your corner.
Yeah.
I understand that, you know what I mean? Because, some criticism is really good criticism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to like discern what you're gonna hear and what you're not. And
Yeah.
so I mean, coming across different types of mentalities, in people's situations and how they ended up homeless.
Yeah.
It kind of helped me to think deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You kind of got to see what people's mindsets may have led them to that situation.
Exactly.
And what the people getting out of that, how they changed their mindset. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was always told that a man who changes his mind can change his life. Right?
Yeah.
In that being said, then that means that we have to be very careful with what we're thinking. Right?
Yeah.
Because there's normal thinking and then there's thinking, right? So you have to make that decision of which one you want to, take on that path.
Right.
So that being said, it's like we have the opportunity to be able to just take a life another step if we make that one decision, right? That can change everything.
Yeah.
So when I would see I had an experience with this one lady, I don't remember her name, but I remember having a deep conversation with her, and she was in front of the hospital where I was sitting at.
Over in Tacoma, John.
Yeah, over there at TG. Yeah, and
John DG, not a sponsor.
yeah, exactly. So by the way, I would probably elaborate on some things in that nature when we get a chance.
Later on, yeah. Later on.
We had this conversation, and I was basically talking to her, and she was telling me, that the reason why she was taking the drugs that she was taking was because her mother passed away, and then later on her child passed away.
Yeah.
And so those were the only two people that she really had in her corner at the time. And so when those two were gone, it took her down, right? But what shocked me was the question that I asked her after that fact. I asked her, I said, what would it take for you to be able to come back from where you are to a higher place of being? She said she didn't want to go.
Wow. Yeah.
She didn't want to take that leap. She didn't want to take that step. She would prefer to be where she's at. The reason why is because she held herself guilty for what happened with her family. Even though we're not responsible for other people's deaths or even decisions we make. You know what I mean?
It's almost like survivor's guilt.
Yeah,
in the military type of thing.
Exactly.
You don't know why they died and not you.
Right. And remember, from the way everything is set up today, it's like you one paycheck short, from being out in the streets with no place to go.
Yeah.
Right? So it takes two incomes, right? In the household. If somebody gets sick in that household, then that means that the other one's gonna foot the bill. So basically you have to make that decision on which you're gonna fall back on to be able to help. But at the same time, it's homelessness is real. Yeah. It is. So I decided to just go ahead and take that whole conversation that I had with the lady pretty personal. Yeah. The reason why is because even though she was in that position, I understood that was like somebody inside that was hurting deep.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you don't know how to reach into their mind and actually pull them out of there, right?
Right.
You don't want to let them just like stay where they are and just wither away and die, but sometimes you just have to just walk away. You know what I mean?
Because they do have to come to that decision to some extent on their own.
Right, that's true.
That's what you were saying, was she was telling you that that's where she wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And even though that's a terrible position to be in, terrible things happen to her.
That's true.
So, you know, you go to drugs because you're not trying to face reality. And her reality was very bleak. So even though drugs were bleak to her, reality was more bleak.
It was.
That's basically what
she was comfortable where she was at, too, right? So she preferred to just stay there. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. That's important. Have you ever gotten to see that lady again? Or? No, I never seen her after that conversation. It was basically done after that point.
Yeah.
Right? But I would pray and hope that, you know, our conversation probably, you know, may have planted a seed to where she could probably think about it later on in time and make the right decision. But, you know, you can only hope and just keep going.
Yeah. No, I definitely hope so. That's what I've loved. If I can just speak on that real quick, that's what I've loved working here for the past couple of years at the ECC, is we have different programs to help that community, people who are unhoused, unsheltered, or in unfortunate times. And that's been really cool to be able to, this is like the longest place I've worked consistently, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been cool getting to be able to see some of those people. Not everybody has come back from it necessarily, but I would say from what I've seen, more have than not. You know, so it is possible. If you're out there and you're going through hard times, or whatever your situation is, even if it's not to the level of homeless, or even if it's a worse situation than just homeless. Like, I mean, you, for example, I met you while you were still, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just got started, really, to be honest with you.
And I didn't even know you were in that situation.
You know why? The reason why is because the way I was thinking, the way I was carrying myself. Just because I was in a homeless situation didn't mean that I have to actually take on that role to actually look that way or feel that way.
Yeah.
Right? So I changed my mind.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, that was a very inspiring story to me at the time, because I was kind of, bumming it more or less, within my situation. And so I saw you, I'd heard, hey, it's actually pretty easy to like get a business going, get this or that going, start a project for yourself. You just gotta take life by the reins and do it yourself.
Take it, yeah, you got to be right there, for sure.
But the only people I'd seen do that were people who were already in very desirable positions.
That's the key. Now, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Your mindset is very important, right?
Yeah.
You can dig yourself out of a hole if you think about the things before you react.
Yeah.
Right? Every decision that's being made has to come through here first, right?
Yeah.
We also have to remember too, I'm really big on this. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that whatever you're thinking up here, that's you, right? If you think you're poor, you're poor. If you think you're rich, you're rich. You know what I mean? You just have to hold fast to that mindset and stay there until the change comes. You know what I'm saying? You can't just like let it go because you had a couple of disappointments or setbacks that got you in a position to where you probably think that you're not going to make it to that next step. Right? You got to change your mind.
Right. But it was also further impressive because you were actually taking those actions behind it. So many people talk about like manifesting, or your mindset will change everything, but all they ever do is just tell themselves they're rich, but they don't actually do anything to make themselves. You know what I mean?
So it's almost like you telling me you're thirsty. I'll take you to the water, but you don't drink.
Yeah. Gotcha. Exactly. And or even someone who is dehydrated saying, "Oh, I'm not dehydrated." And you know what I mean?
Like, you see the white stuff.
It's like, no, you're dehydrated. I hear the spit in your voice right now.
Right, you sound a little rusty.
So you were one of the first people that I saw who was you weren't in a desirable position as far as the literal present situation you were in.
True.
Your future was definitely in a desirable position as far as how you had yourself set up.
Right.
And you know, having a job, having a car, having the mindset.
I can tell you this, man. It was humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Right. Humble beginnings because while I was out there, you know, sleeping in front of the hospital.
Yeah.
Give another shout out to the hospital.
Yeah, shout out to the sponsor.
So I would sleep on the park bench, man, right in front of the bus stop, man.
Really?
Yeah, freezing cold, bro. Like when everybody was going home, I would go back to that bus stop, you know what I mean? But I always made sure I carried around something that I could be able to stay warm, you know what I'm saying, protect myself from the elements. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, it was a learning and humbling experience. So, you know, it gave me that mindset to like keep pushing no matter what, you know what I'm saying, because things most definitely gotta change, right?
Yeah.
And I remember withholding the conversation to God, you know, I was letting him know like, hey, look, I desire my heart to actually do better with my life, right? So I made the decision today, you know what I'm saying, even though you already know my heart anyways. Yeah. You know, I want to make a covenant with you, you know, that I would make sure that I stay positive in all of my ways.
Yeah.
Think my way through things instead of just like reacting to certain things, right? Yeah. And so I asked him, I said, look, you want me in front of this hospital, you know what I'm saying, for a long duration of time to die out here in the cold? You know, it's wet, you know, the snow is all in my face, you know what I'm saying? But it hurts, you know, to see people riding past you, know what I'm saying? Nobody offers a hand and say, hey, you okay? Yeah. You know what I mean? I've experienced that, man. And to see that type of like mentality of people who actually really don't care. In front of a hospital, you think they would come out bring a blanket or a sheet or something, right? Yeah. You know, but I had to come prepared, and so I did that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the sad part is I made it through the process. I slept in my car, you know, after I got enough money to be able to save for a car, you know what I'm saying? And I was thanking God to open up that door for me so I can get, you know, at least out that part of the element into some shelter for me. Right.
The shelter entrance.
Yeah, exactly. And transportation. So it helped me to do a lot more things. And so now I'm like in a more desirable position. Right. Yeah. But in my mind, it's like I'm always, never, ever forgetting to help somebody else. Yeah. No matter what position you're at, there's always going to be people below you and above you. It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's about you meeting them where they are. Yeah. You know what I mean? And taking it from there. I'm never thinking that I'm bigger than anybody. I'm just being me. Yeah. Right? And so, you know, if my thoughts, you know, would dictate my lifestyle, then let that be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's up to me to be able to know the difference between what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And make the difference between what's good and bad. Yeah. And make that right decision. Yeah.
And not just on a moral level, but what's best for you versus what's going to be worse for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You know, and I also learned too, I can't live for everybody else. I can only live for me. Right. Yeah. So I put myself first.
Yeah. I have some questions in there, but I already forgot what you.
Okay, so
you hit me with more wisdom and more knowledge than I was even expecting. So I appreciate that.
So this is what I'm thinking, man. You know, okay. So sorry about that. Let's see that part. But with Metro Parks, this is how I became a part of Metro Parks. I remember being homeless around the hospital, and I decided to go inside the center for the first time, right? So I was about to have passed it a few times. Never read the People Center. Okay, the People Center. Shout outs to People.
Shout out People.
Yeah. So I decided to stop yelling, and so I ran into one of the employees, Christina West.
Okay.
And I was talking to her, you know, while I was sitting there, and she was telling me about all the benefits that the center has and things of that nature, you know, and about me being homeless, if I got a pass or something like that, I could be able to enjoy, you know what I'm saying, being in the community center and just take showers and whatever I needed to do to, you know, get on the computer and, you know, just get my mind right.
A little more humanity in that situation. Right. Since, you know, if you can't afford a literal home, you can have, home is where the heart is. You have somewhere where you can put your heart
exactly.
To some extent.
Exactly. Yeah, so Christina West, she gave me an opportunity to fill out an application. She heard my story. She knew what I told her that I had just got my business license and things of that nature, and I was already on the ground with that. I just needed a hand up and not a hand out, right? And so she decided, you know what I'm saying, after that conversation that we had, to be able to pull me in and help me get an application, with the system. She told me that they may have an opening for me, and so I went on and did what I need to do to get that job, and she opened up the door for me. I walked right through it, and from that moment on, like, my life changed from that aspect.
Yeah.
Right, because of that conversation, because of that one move, it allowed me to be able to become a part of Metro Parks, and it allowed me to, get in and just be me, right?
Yeah.
And so, and shouts out to Antonio.
And shouts out to Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio. So I had a nice conversation with him too as well.
Okay.
We got to know each other and things of that nature. And, he told me his expectations. What he expected, out of me.
Yeah.
Taking a leadership role and doing the right thing with the community and the job that I had.
Yeah.
Just like going from there.
So if we go a little off of, you already went off script in a great way, in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
If I can go a little off script with my questions, can I just ask some questions I have?
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, Derek does pretty much run a very important program in Metro Parks that's very needed for the community, that I've seen utilized by many people in the community that are going through hard times. Can you maybe speak on that, like what you do, before I get into it?
So the food program, we decided to have it on certain days. I think our first days that we would have it on was like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
That was when it started out at the People Center.
Okay.
When
that was you talking to Miss Christie about it, or Miss Christie talking to you about it?
Well, I had talked to Christina. Christina gave me the opportunity to be able to start the program. So she went on and put me in charge of it and let me go ahead and go for it, and I did.
Yeah.
But Antonio McLemore was the one who opened it up to where I could be able to have my program in all of the centers.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. And so once that door was opened up by him, everything just took off from there.
Okay.
And so I decided to start a program like with the Eastside Community Center. Their days to get food was like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. They could come in and be able to get food, whatever. At certain times, or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that opened up a door for me. And then the Star Center came along, and it got bigger and bigger. But all we require is that the person will come in with their first name, last name, fill out a document, just one form. Give us their first name, last name, and address, and what city that they're homeless in. If they're homeless, if they're not, we prefer to put that information in there. I don't require that they put like a date of birth or anything like that, but it really would let me know, if they did, that would give me the opportunity to be able to see what age range we're working with, that would be in need of the food that we provide for the centers.
Yeah, and when I was working front desk, you would always tell us, like, this information isn't necessarily, necessary on a federal level, but it's very helpful to be able to know who we're serving and how we're serving them, and how we can serve them better.
Exactly. And so I was preferring that we would leave like telephone numbers and maybe emails.
Yeah.
So that people could be able to get that part of the information to me, so that I can be able to see what their really need is.
Yeah.
And then if we can, I can be able to talk to my distributors and see if we can be able to provide the centers.
Right.
With that request.
Right. Yeah. And I personally, through basically, so you were saying it was only Monday, Wednesday, Friday at first?
Yeah, when we started out.
Now it's technically
every day.
Yes, as long as there's enough boxes. Sometimes there is issues with whatever. I don't know. We don't have to name them, or you can,
right.
But or you can if you want. But the food bank that works with you, sometimes they're going through some sort of a
hiring crisis or something like that. Yeah. I've been in business now with Metro Parks for 2.5 years, but out of the first year was perfect.
Yeah.
But like maybe 1 month out of that whole 2-year period, we were out of food. Right. But that was only due to the fact that the distributor I was working with needed more people to come in and actually work. And it wasn't that they didn't have the food; they just didn't have the manpower to put together
to get it out to the people.
Right. Yeah. And so we had came into some form of agreement that maybe we might start hiring the homeless
Okay,
and
word.
letting them come in and actually, donate their time to the community and go down there and like maybe put some boxes together for us and
Yeah, that's super dope.
yeah, we'll provide them with food. However, their payments would be done, but
Yeah.
we most definitely make sure they walk out with some food for sure. For the
Yeah.
services.
And that's an example of a very uplifting hand up, not hand out.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're getting that hand up, but you're also giving back to the same people in your situation.
Exactly, but you do a little extra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just for that initiative, you want to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I would just ask for your help and then you do your job and then not leave you hanging and just going about your day.
Right.
I want to make sure, you get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the very least.
Exactly. Even if it was just mindset. Yeah, mindset. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that being said, too, it's like majority of people that cross my path, I've always got some type of form of wisdom.
Yeah.
To give to them. That's because of the love that I have in the heart for me.
Yeah.
And for people. You know what I mean? But I had to get to a place to where I had to put myself first.
Yeah.
Right. To realize that point right there gave me the encouragement to move forward and actually do bigger things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't put myself on a pedestal or anything. I just still don't do that today. I'm always humble.
Right.
And everyone, because I understand that, you can be here today and gone tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in the aspect, what did you do in the time that you had available?
Yeah.
Who did you help? Who did you, heal? Who did you, reach your hand out to give that opportunity to be able to give them the hands up that we need?
Yeah. I think some people talk about me first and like me above God and before the people I love. But what you're saying is more of when you go on a plane, you got to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help other people.
Somebody else, because if you can't
dead.
breathe, if you can't breathe, you can't have somebody else breathe. Right. Because you can take the oxygen from the mask if they can't reach theirs and give them some oxygen from yours. You know what I'm saying? And keep it going. You know what I mean? Until we can find that resource to actually where we can both enjoy this.
Yeah. It's more like handle yourself first.
Yeah, exactly.
And then help other people handle
Right,
themselves.
but I can't do nothing for you if I don't do it for myself first, right? How can I help you if I don't help myself, right? How can I criticize you for something that, I'm doing myself?
Yeah.
You feel me? I need to pull that mold out of my eye first before I can be able to help you.
No, a good example of that would be like, there's a lady who's part of our unsheltered community that goes here, and I saw her I was just, driving around Tacoma with the homies, staying out of trouble type of thing, and I just seen her at a street in Tacoma, and I was like, oh, what's up, so-and-so, how are you? She was like, good. Aren't you about to turn 21? I was like, yeah. And she goes, oh, here's $20, first beer's on me. And I was like, I tried to tell her, nah, it's all good. She really wanted to, so I took it, and we've gone back and forth with that, so it's it's all good. I'm not out here just taking money from women in bad situations.
Taking advantage.
Yeah, I'm not out here like that, but what I always think about, and what I kind of try to tell. That time was different because she was super excited. She'd kind of gotten a job or something, so she had some extra. And that was a way for her to pass a blessing on. So that was a little different. But outside of that, sometimes people will try to bless you, and it's like, I'd rather you took that and put it towards a car, which she does have a car now, so shout out to her, good for her. But there's sometimes that people want to, or maybe give you advice. It's kind of like how you were saying, a lot of people when you're young and you're in any type of situation, when you're young in general, but especially if you got nobody in your corner, you'll hear so many people give you advice. It's not all good advice.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to use discernment for sure.
Who's that advice coming from, and is someone giving you advice, but they're in a worse situation?
Exactly.
Everybody's got something to say, but they're not in a position.
Yeah, so in other words, basically, how can I take information from you, and you ain't even in a good position to even help me out because you can't help yourself?
Yeah, you don't even have time to give me advice. You need to go get a job. Why are we wasting time?
Right. I get it.
But you can still learn. You can still learn stuff from some people. It's just I appreciate you mentioning how it's good to have that filter. You know what I mean? Because like me, I'm a little bit crazy. When I go on the bus or whatever, I'll just talk to whoever's kind of having a little, I don't with the appropriate word, the little schizo kind of breakdown type of thing.
Yeah, I just said bad day.
Yeah, bad day. Yeah, people are having a bad day. I'll kind of just talk to them, and sometimes it goes great. Sometimes it's one of those conversations where you're talking about we both kind of spread some light to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then sometimes it's like they don't necessarily want to have a conversation. They just want to have someone to yell at. You know, and I've even
so you give them that opportunity to vent.
Yeah, and so sometimes I've been able to take it. I don't know. I guess take advantage of the opportunity as far as some people will just start venting and then they'll actually be open, you know, to some love and some light and some new perspective.
Gotcha.
And I think I've gotten better at that as I've practiced. But sometimes a dude just wants to yell at you. Sometimes you look like someone who messed them up in life. I had one guy, he wasn't even having that bad a day. We actually had a real cool conversation. But yeah, he was like, "You ever been to prison before?" I was like, "I never even got a parking ticket, bro." Right. Well, what do you think you saw me in prison, bro? You're like 55. I'm 21. Like, I got a couple tardies in school, man. That's good. No, you did not see me in prison, but I appreciate that. I reminded you of someone, but who'd I remind you of, bro? It's not that sweet around here, bro.
I hope it was a good role model.
It's not sweet.
Somebody that we could probably, get some information from and do the right thing.
Yeah, we're cool now. And, he comes around the center and stuff, and he doesn't cause issues. So that's something for me, like because now I work, we won't get too into it, but now I work in a position where I'm often one of the last people in the building or the last person in the building. And so just being able to walk out at night and knowing that I know around here, I know every single regular homeless person's name.
Gotcha.
Every single person who stays around here, I know which ones are on crazy drugs, I know which ones aren't, I know which ones are regardless of how bad a day they're having, they're not going to take it out on you.
Right.
I know which ones are going to protect me in a weird situation.
Gotcha.
And I'm cool with pretty much everybody who stays immediately around here. And there's nobody that I have a particularly bad time with. It's just that person just is having a rough day every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, that's a huge benefit to me walking outside and not necessarily like I own the place, but just like this is a part of my home. So if I know someone who shouldn't be in my home, I know how to move when I'm walking outside.
Gotcha.
And stay safe and all that.
Yeah.
So that's big to me, that people aren't messing with me, people aren't messing with my coworkers, people aren't messing with, there's a lot of kids who people aren't here as late as me, but I know there's kids that go to the school nearby, there's kids that stay in the apartments nearby that just stay around the center at crazy hours of the night where you're like, why are you at, I'll tell someone if I have some sort of relationship, I'll say, go home, why are you here right now?
I'm glad you kind of brought that part up. The reason why I say that is because I think a year ago, by the way, shouts out to Mr. Parks again.
Shout out to Mr. Parks.
They had gave me an award to let me know that they appreciated, my services, from an incident that happened.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, exactly. So, me myself, once I got that award, it helped me to understand that I am being seen, I am being heard. People are paying attention. You know what I mean? But what they didn't really know was it wasn't that I was just doing my job. It was just that I had noticed that the children that I had an encounter with on that day, we had built a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so my heart went out to those kids who were injured, that day, and who considered the Eastside Community Center to be a safe place to go to. You know what I mean? To where we can be able to, have that place where I know if I got into trouble, I can run to the center, and talk to somebody who really care about my well-being. You know what I mean? So that opened up a door to my heart to actually reach out to them a lot more, because I understood, just because we're out there in the community doesn't mean that we have to be a part of what the community is doing in the aspect of wrongdoing. Yeah. Right.
And that's the reason this place is even a safe place like that is, shouts out obviously to Antonio, shout out to, but I would say big shout out to the people Miss Tony. Big shout outs to people like Sari, who, when I first started working here, even though most people saw it as a safe place, there were some people who didn't understand what it was at the time, if that makes sense.
It does.
And now you'll see people walk in, and I'm not going to say affiliated, but they walk, talk, dress like they're affiliated, and they may even say they are affiliated. And they come in the building, and there's other people with different affiliations, and they're able to either know to not show up on the same day, which is huge. Like, how's that communication even happening?
True.
But then also, sometimes they will show up on the same day, and it's all love. You know what I mean? It's all peace. And if there's something that's not peace and love going on, then they go far away from here. You know what I mean?
I do.
And so that's, I mean,
shows you a connection.
Yeah, we can get into that story a whole different time. That's its own story, you know. But big shout outs to everybody who's a part of this. Big shout outs to Billy Ray and his mother. Wonderful woman who definitely is one of the craziest examples I've heard of making the most out of a dark situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's how the Eastside community is.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct.
And through that, if we look at it in a different aspect, we will see that the young man that passed away actually opened up a huge door for the community, and allowed the community to enjoy the fruits of his labor. You know, even though he lost his life, you know, to something that, you know, you probably could have enjoyed. You know what I mean? But maybe that probably had to happen. I'm not sure, just for the door to open up, you know, for us. But shouts out to him too as well. Yeah,
and that's why it all makes sense in the end. Is those hard things. That's why you can't leave the story early. You know what I mean?
True.
Is there's still more to the story going on. And if someone were to just stop the story back then, you know, they wouldn't even know what that dark chapter meant for all the light chapters.
Exactly. So that would be another aspect of, like, you know, you don't understand what I went through to be where I am.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that means you, just because you feel like you may be obligated to be able to take what I have, doesn't mean that you earned it. You know what I mean? I earned where I'm at. You know what I mean? I worked very hard. I started from the bottom, now I'm here. Yeah. You know what I mean? And by that being said, it's like
we can't shout here now.
But keep going. It took me into a place where I understood that life was serious, and that there is possibilities that I can go from, you know, 0 to 100 really quick. Yeah. Right. If I think about what I want to do, right? Yeah. It has to come from my mind first, right? Right. So I would encourage anybody else who's probably struggling and going through, you know, senseless things, it seems like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, you know, each situation is actually a stepping stone. Yeah. It all depends on how you think about it, right? Yeah. And the choices that you make is very vital. Yeah. Right. Because you know, if we can be able to take that first initiative thought, think about it before we actually react to certain things, we even respond to certain things. Yeah. We can change everything really quick. Right. All it takes is just that one decision. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. You mind if I take it slightly lighter? Yeah. Okay. Not because it's dark, just heavy. It's weighty. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What is your first earliest Tacoma memory, at least that you want to speak on?
My first earliest? Okay. Me being invited by my mom and my brothers to come up to Washington State to see, you know, how the state was, and see if I could be able to start a business here and get things going like the way I, you know, dreamed to be, you know, when I was in Chicago. You know, by the way, shouts out to Chicago, South Side. Anywho, yeah, she invited me to come up here. I came and Chirac. So I got here. I loved it. You know, I got a chance to be able to, you know, see Mount Rainier and, you know, go to different places like Ocean Shores and things of nature. Yeah. You know, how things was, and I loved it, man. It gave me the opportunity to be able to see something different. Yeah. You know what I mean? And experience something different. So I decided to come up here and I've been here ever since.
Before you came to Washington, had you visited many other places besides Chicago?
Yeah, well, you know how you ride the Greyhound?
Yeah. Did you ride the Greyhound here?
I did. I did. It took me like 3 days to get here.
Before that, was that the first time you'd been outside of Chicago?
No, because I usually would go to like Gary, Indiana, Michigan, places like that, or Ohio.
Yeah. So you definitely saw a bit of the world around you for sure, but it was mostly within the Midwest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got you.
And Northwest.
North Midwest.
Yeah, North Midwest. Yeah. So I mean, I love the place where I was at, but I just knew that there was, I'm missing out on something else because the United States is huge.
Right, yeah.
The world is huge within itself, so it'd be a shame for me to just be stuck in a rut in one city and never got out of it, right? So I decided to branch out and do it. I'm glad that I did, man.
And was that back in 2022?
1989.
1999. Okay.
First day I came into Washington State, period.
Okay.
Right.
When did you end up moving, making that decision?
Well, I made that decision 30 days prior before I even showed up on Greyhound.
Oh, you just decided, all right.
Yeah, I just dropped it like it was hot, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to pack what I got and take it with me. And so I did. I got on the bus and I was headed to Washington State, 99, November the 8th. Was the day I got off that bus, and I've been here ever since.
Got you.
But I sporadically go back and forth and check on my family.
Okay.
You know, you got to go back home.
Yeah.
You can't just be posted like a step here.
So this recent time is kind of more so the longest you've been.
It has, and like I said, it's a beautiful experience. I got a chance to start my business, which was another business called Pigeon Bar Sound.
Okay.
And I installed car alarms, amplifiers, equalizers, ground effects, TVs, DVD players, flip down monitors.
That's very handy.
Yeah, headrest screens, underbody kits, you name it. I got access to it all. All of the distributors and all of the equipment that come with it.
Okay.
So, I used to hook people up and always drove around with loud music, man. For some strange reason, I love music too.
Yeah.
So
that's not that strange.
Yeah, no, but
good music is good music.
It allowed me to be able to, broaden my horizon. You know what I mean? It gave me a better view of what I was actually seeing. I'm born and raised in Chicago, so I know the city very well. You know what I mean? But to be in that type of lifestyle, forever, something had to change. So I had to make that decision myself, and I'm glad I did.
Okay. What's your favorite song right now?
Right now, I could say, I have to think about that one, but
or what song do you want to put out to the people? They should go check out.
I wouldn't say Mariah Carey. What is her name? The black girl who won. What is her name?
Fantasia.
There you go. There you go.
Really?
Man.
Is he talking about?
Man, Fantasia.
Hold on.
Good.
Hold on. He's talking about. Where is it?
There was one hit she made, man. You put that one on right
When
now.
I See You?
Yeah. I remember.
That's a great song.
Yeah, I love that song. It gives me great memories.
Okay.
Not with somebody else, but it helped. It just in generally helped my mindset. I could put that song on and actually listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know what I mean?
You know that song's going around right now?
Yeah. Well,
it's going around on socials. And
stuff. Oh yeah. I've got a couple of clips of it on my phone. In fact, I might go and play it for y'all. Yeah.
That one brings you back.
It brings me back. It gives me inspiration for sure. When I listen to it, I can listen to it over and over again on repeat.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want
let's
want a slightly heavy question, or you want a couple more light ones?
Give me a couple
light ones. Yeah. All right. What's your earliest Metro Parks memory, specifically? Metro Parks, like not just Tacoma. So it can still be a park or whatever, but.
I would say an event that they had over at the People Center. I'm not sure where. Everybody was outside and they had like vendors everywhere. And, they had like the bouncy ball house and stuff outside the People Center. The music was playing.
Was it like during the summer?
I think it was co-create. Like co-create type or something like that. Something like that. Yeah. But the event was huge. There was a lot of people there, and kind people too. Walk up on you, and probably giving you a helping hand if you needed something. I've seen people actually just walk up and try to help out, and that was really a good thing. But I think that was like maybe 2 years ago when that first happened.
Okay.
I had that experience with Metro Parks, and I wasn't really sure of the event at the time, but it encouraged me to enter into more events. That's probably why I went with the recreational department today.
Right.
and do the quince. Is that how the
Quince? Yeah.
I love those parties too, by the way.
Shout out all the kids.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Shout
they
out
would have
all the dads getting lit.
But I'm just saying at the same time, it's like he was old of age. You know, they barely even drink. You know, and alcohol was like a
Definitely.
time for sure.
Yeah.
And for such strange reason, they know how to have fun. You gotta help them turn the music off and you know.
Amen. Yeah, they have good times. They have really good times. It's always fun working with them because at the end of the day, everyone leaves a mess, and then their mess is like party.
And you unfortunately you have to be the one to actually clean it up. So
It's all good. It's all good. Most of the time, it's all good. Most of the time, it's just, you know, there's
a
enough
little graffiti here and there. Confetti, what they call it?
confetti.
Confetti.
As long as there's nothing too crazy, it's nice cleaning up after people who were, you know, having like a genuine, like, I mean, it's just, that's
Nice
pure peace and love.
Yeah, exactly. And it's everywhere. And they
Talk about
they
it.
will feed
They're
you.
doing it.
They will feed you. They
Feed you
most
good.
definitely will feed you. You're gonna eat good that day.
Yep.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
They do take care of their people and any family and guests. I've seen people, you know, throw out hundreds of dollars, bro, in the middle of the floor, and everybody just dance, you know, having fun, but they make sure that they still get up and put it in on top.
Yeah.
But it's just for that family, though. But to see that, you know what I'm saying, you see the togetherness, you see the inspiration that they give each other, you know, to, you know, just like make sure that child is well taken care of.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure how that, you know, how their race and, you know, ethnic background, like, actually coincide, you know, when a 15-year-old becomes 15, what they usually go through, but the experience of what I've seen, it's like pretty decent, bro.
Yeah.
I wish I had that when I was 15 years. Yeah, exactly, for sure.
What's your favorite part in Tacoma? What's your second favorite? Because you know your favorite to be blown up.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I would say my second one would probably be the park on 72nd. What's the name of it?
Something about like Wapato?
Yeah, exactly. Wapato.
Wapato?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Wapato.
Well, they also got Charlotte's right next to it.
I call it a peace park, man, because you can just relax there. You know what I mean? And just look at the scenery and things of that nature. And enjoy the geese. You know,
that's 72nd and Sheridan, though.
It is, man. If I tell anybody who come, you know, have a nice time or whatever, but watch out for the geese too.
Yeah. And also, they got fish and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
In there.
Yeah, they do. Frogs and the whole nine. I love that park.
Yeah, no, that's a great park.
That's owned by Metro Parks too, correct?
Pretty much, from what I know, dang near every park in Tacoma is owned by Metro Parks.
That's decent.
Yeah.
That's decent. And to be a part of something big like that is like pretty huge, you know?
Yeah. And you see all these parks and they're like very well maintained, generally safe, and if something's not maintained or safe, like pretty good response time on that.
True.
Yeah. You can let your people know. If you guys have a favorite park that you'd like to see restored, make sure you get into some sort of contact with Metro Parks. I know I have before. I worked for Metro Parks at the time, so I was able to just call my boss and they redirected me to who could help me. But, you know, call Metro Parks HQ, let them know. You don't have to be angry about it, you know, just let them know, hey, I'm a community member. I love my community, and let's get this thing more communitized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tell them what you want.
What's your second favorite place to get food in Tacoma?
That's another hard one. There's a burrito joint on 6th Avenue.
Okay.
And, I think it's called Mimo's.
Yeah, you like Mimos?
Yeah, I like Mimo's.
I love Mimos. Shout out all the people working there.
I love their burritos, man.
I love the burritos. They're 24 hours.
Yeah.
They never stop working, man.
Nope. Always open, bro.
No days off.
I don't even think they take a holiday break, bro.
I don't think they do. Yeah. No, they're always there. There's somebody at least.
And their food is delicious, man.
They might slow it down a little bit during the holidays, like on the actual day. But then, like the day before, the day after, they're back to it full speed.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, food's delicious. Great burritos.
You know, I give them these guys 2 thumbs up. You know what I mean? 4.5 star.
Definitely. You get the pineapple water juice. Almost every burrito person.
I haven't. I usually stick with this one burrito that they have. It's usually staple with it.
I feel you. I always get like fajita or machaca usually.
I think think I tried the beef maybe twice. It's pretty decent too.
Yeah.
But nothing
They
beats
got
the
a
steak.
good Washington burrito that's got fries in it. Anyway, all right. We're getting crazy.
Yeah, because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah,
man.
I'm getting too hungry for this.
I was gonna say let's change the subject.
We might have to go on a burrito run after this. Hey, sponsor us, Memos.
Yeah.
We sponsor you.
I would say they need to bring more gyro shops back then.
Yeah, there used to be a little more. There's a couple in like downtown and stuff mostly.
I've seen one
it's
local
great to
Avenue,
be
but
right
it's
next to
closed.
Memos.
It is. Yes.
It's just closed early. They're still open. They're just never open when you and I would be getting off work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But they still got great deals. Shout out to Great to me.
Yeah.
Sponsored.
That's pretty much too. It used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. They got everything, Joe. They got good pizza. They got good calamari. They got good garlic bread and drinks and stuff. But yeah, shout out to you.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the Firehouse.
The Firehouse?
on 6th Avenue.
Okay, I've heard of it before.
I've eaten there.
It's like a
before,
bar and a grill
It is.
thing.
Yeah, and they've got some decent drinks too, by the way.
Okay, I got
Nice margaritas.
Okay.
Yeah, check them out, man. They're pretty good.
All right.
Shout out to the fire department.
Yeah, shout out fire departments. Shout out people who work in civil service industry, sponsors. You know, you donate or whatever. All right. What are your unfulfilled passions?
If I can elaborate on that one, probably think for a second. Unfulfilled would be something that I desired to do, but didn't accomplish it. Right.
It could be that, or just didn't accomplish yet.
Didn't accomplish yet.
Yeah.
Put it in that aspect. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Good. That's good right there. But yeah, I mean, that would probably be the only thing that I would be undesirable for. I mean, think about it. It's like,
Is there anything you want to do, like whether it's Metro Parks or just personally for you or whatever? Anywhere you want to go with that? Is there anything that you want to do that you're maybe working towards, or you haven't been able to work towards, but you'd like to see happen one day? Because maybe it's like
well, okay, so yeah, since we on that page, I'm gonna start right here with this podcast.
Okay, cool.
I'm glad that I came up with the idea with this podcast because I see big things. Sorry about that. I see big things with this program. Right. By this being open, this gives the opportunity for the community to be able to come to the podcast.
Yeah.
And tell us about what they're doing out there with their businesses and things of that nature. But then it also gives you insight on what's happening with Metro Parks.
Right.
Now, we do have a lot of programs in Metro Parks, like the 50 plus programs and, the youth programs, the Friday night programs, the teen night, late night programs, things of that nature, and then you got like different programs that come through, like the big boy, the big homies,
Yeah.
the big homies, and then you got, just a lot. If I could just like throw them out there, but
so many. Build to lead.
Build to lead, and
Shout out. Shout out Jimmy and Notorious.
So
And everybody else, I just don't know everybody's name.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I would most definitely desire to put some information out that would help people know a little bit more about what I'm doing too as well. So that way they could actually find me on my website, which is liftingspiritsavingssouls.com.
check that out.
Yeah, you can go there and check that out, and you can look through my bio, and I'll tell you a little bit more how we got started. You can find that information on there too, and you can also register for the podcast.
Yeah.
At the website too.
Yeah, if you got a business or a vision for Tacoma that you're working on, or if you work within Metro Parks or for the city, or really anything to serve in Tacoma, if you're a social worker, if you're just a community member who's been very active and think you got something to say, let us know, go sign up. And maybe not everybody will necessarily make it on the podcast. Like we only have so much time in the day.
Exactly.
And we also have our own, vision with moving forward how we want to. But for the most part, just in general, if you are in Tacoma, whether you're a small business, even if you're not necessarily the perfectly fleshed out community program that's helping everybody out, if you are a part of the community and you're an entrepreneur, let us know. We'd love to have you on. do a little interview, put up a shout out to your shows, you know, or shout out to your stuff on the show. Anything of that nature, you know, whether it's a marketing thing for you or a deeper conversation, you know.
Right, we love to hear it.
Go to Lifting Spirit Saving Souls, right?
Yep,
LiftingSpiritSavingSouls.com. It's spelled everything dictionary spelling on that .com.
Yeah, Google searches.
Yeah,
Pretty decent.
yeah. If you just search Lifting Spirit Saving Souls, and then check out Derek's website for all your Christmas presents.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah, that would be Lifting Spirit Saving Souls LLC.
LLC.
Yeah, that's my Shopify store.
Yeah, but if you just search Lifting Spirit Saving Souls, then you'll come across both.
Yeah, exactly. You can't miss it. It's one over the other. So.
Yeah, pretty much that.
But yeah, I would love to start another program, and I want to really work with the youth to help them become entrepreneurs.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So we
So
talked about this.
yeah,
before.
I've got eight steps that I desire for them to be able to take. Once they finish with the last 8th step, they're considered a business owner, entrepreneur at that moment. But I desire that they would come back after they finish with that 8th step and become a part of my group.
Yeah.
You know, so that we can be able to collaborate, put our businesses together.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that way we can be able to keep the ball rolling. You know, you just don't just graduate with with the last step. It actually goes further. Just say, for instance, hypothetically, you went through the program and you decide to start a t-shirt business or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You would still need like the resources.
Shout out MTN Movement to Millions.
Oh yeah. So they
Shout out, etc.
will have that opportunity to be able to come in and share with us. You know, are you done yet?
I'm done. I'm sorry, OG. My bad, OG.
Yeah, so we want to just put it out there to we can be able to reach a lot of people in that aspect. I would focus more on the teenagers, like 16 and older, because around that time, that's when the mind is like basically trying to figure things out, trying to figure out where you are in life. And so, if you catch them early, we'll give them the opportunity to become rich, or to become who they genuinely are. Not depending on somebody else, but having that door open for themselves to be able to make that initial step to actually do something with life. Because that's all America's about anyways, corporation. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you become a part of that. Tax time is coming up pretty soon, and so we want to probably start now. You know what I mean? So by the end of the year, you be able to pull up some taxes. Say for instance, we can really get you with a FBA, a small business loan or something like that. That would help out too. Let that part be a part of the program. I would like to give a shout out to couple of people, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And
to wrap up what we're saying during the cut, it's just like there's 2 specific dudes that are out there right now that have built up a lot of their stability off of just the food box program.
Okay.
So, and then there's a couple other ladies. I mean, the one that I talked about earlier on the podcast who hasn't quiet now. I mean, you've had a big impact on her, and I mean, she talks about you all the time. She always asks if you brought in food and stuff. So, even if she's maybe a little more on her feet, where she can literally buy food now.
Right.
Thank God. Yeah. But even for her, I think a lot of these people, even just knowing that someone cares enough to do something like that,
the heart goes out to all of them, man. And I give them much respect for sure. If I see them out there and I know they're hungry, I'm gonna most definitely feed them, bro. So that's why I try not to run out of food.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Anyways, you got some.
I want to give a shout out to Innovative Change Agents.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I've been to a lot of their programs and stuff like that I've seen so far.
Okay.
And they're doing big things. Man.
Yeah.
Really big things. Yeah. So,